Hi, I'm Praveen Parameswar.
I'm Rahul Easwar. Welcome to the Auto-Complete Interview Series by Lifology. Today we are taking career planning. What are the most asked questions on career planning? We have with us Praveen Parameswar, CEO of Lifology, a globally renowned Guinness World Record winning career management service. Hi Praveen. So,
Hi.
Career planning basics. Let's see what the questions are. Where should a student start? Good question. Where to start? How to start? Yeah.
That's a good point. So I think a student should start by exploring himself in detail because so who is he? What are his interests? What is his passion? So what that person doesn't like to do, what that person likes to do. So so self-exploration should be the beginning of career planning. That's what I say. Yeah.
Self-exploration. That's a very, very profound word. As a student of philosophy, now I feel connected to that word. Let's see the second question. When career planning, how beneficial is networking? We have always heard in India and especially Asian nations, jobs are network driven, careers are network driven. So how beneficial is networking?
I think it's super important because I believe even today, so I believe even today more than 70% of the jobs are getting filled through contacts, connections, networks, and that will be more in future. I don't really see a heavy future for the current giants of job, the job websites, but on the go, maybe more networking website exclusively for job may come up like LinkedIn, or a lighter form of LinkedIn may come up. So digitally or not, networking is gonna be superb. Network is gonna be the king. So more than what you know, who you know becomes so important in future. So I believe networking will be the future, and who you know will be the future, and more platforms of networking will come in future for sure. That's what I think.
Who you know is as important as what you know.
Absolutely.
And your network is your net worth. These are the catchwords and the mantras of the modern corporates. Yes. Career planning challenges. How to navigate them? Career planning challenges, how to navigate them?
That's a good question because I think the biggest challenge in career planning is number one, that's self-exploration is the beginning of career planning, and it is too tough to do self-exploration because ourself is a complicated person or a complicated being. So it is very tough to understand what a person's passion is, what a person's interest is, what I like, what I don't like, what I really want to do. So it's very tough to know about ourselves. That's a biggest challenge, number one. And how to navigate, I would say you should take an expert service for that. So you should not self-treat yourself. You need to take an expert service from a career manager. And number two, the second point of career planning is to know about the world of career. And that's becoming an extremely complex, very, very, very complex. See, even the huge corporates in the world like Apple or like Samsung or like Microsoft, so they are engaging, highly paid consultants to study about what's going to happen in future. So we're talking about the careers in that future. Which future? The future which corporates are investing billions to understand what's going to happen over there. And a student of, grade 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the first, second, third years of undergraduation, we think that they have to understand about all those kind of complex things and try to take a decision based on that. And that's too complex. So the complexity of understanding self and complexity of understanding the world around will be the biggest challenges in career planning. And to navigate it, there is only one way. You need to take an expert service for sure. That culture is less in our country, less in this part of the world. But I would say that has to be pushed more, that has to be used more services need to be there to navigate. And one more thing is the upcoming world of artificial intelligence can do a lot of things over there. Because as there are a lot of variables, it is humanly very tough or nearly impossible to process all those variables and try to come up with the right decisions. And for that, I think AI should be utilized in the most important, in a very meticulous manner.
Know yourself, know the world, know a good career coach. Right? Yeah. Next one, career planning mistakes. What should be avoided? What should be avoided?
Yeah. So I think the most important mistake in career planning to be avoided is to choose career without a planning. That's a dangerous thing because many times we choose career just by the whims and fancies, or following the peer group, or just following some advertisements, we choose career. So just based on one newspaper advertisement, we may be taking a decision on what we are going to do for next 30, 40 years. It's terrible. See, what I have seen is people plan in detail if they're going for a Thailand trip, or if they go for an Indonesian trip or an European trip. People go to every nuances, plan, go for reviews, comparison, analysis, watch multiple videos, talk to many people. Even we may even connect with people who we don't even know at this point of time. We may connect them in Instagram, send them messages, network, and try to understand them more. But when we try to decide about career, what we do is we just follow somebody's decision. That's it. So, that is one important mistake which we have to avoid in career planning. That's what I say. And the second most important mistake, that's a question, right? Yeah. The mistake. The second most important mistake, I think, is so just to plan career, with a very, very short-term mindset. It's when I say short-term mindset, so I may be taking decision on a career without even thinking that what's going to happen for that career in future, whether it is going down. Do I really like that career? So even without thinking that, so I just take a very quick decision and start jumping into that. So that is okay. But I would say even before that, you have to look before you leap. You have to look before you leap. You have to do some sort of basic planning before you take a decision. So the hasty decision, faster decisions are good, but it should not be hasty decisions. That's the second, the most important mistake, I would say. And the third mistake is by role modeling is very good. So role modeling is very good, but choosing career just by mimicking a person may not be good. Because we see that one person is doing fabulously good in one particular career, but that is because that person has maybe a better ecosystem, he has its own attitude, he has its own passion. So all those things would be very, very important. But mimicking that person, and I'm jumping into that career by seeing that guy is doing a good job over there, that doesn't mean that I'm also gonna get a better job over there. So those kind of things are the biggest mistakes in career many times. And there is another side as well. So I told you, there should not be hasty decision, but you should not analyze and paralyze as well. That's also very important. There are a lot of people who analyze and paralyze about which career to choose, and they don't choose any career and their life get wasted. So we should not do that as well. We need a mediocre path to move forward. That's it.
A middle path is always good. And like he said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Yes. Career planning. What's the first step? So you might be convinced about career planning. What is the first step?
I would say the first step is to decide that I'm going to plan my career. Which is very important.
I hope you have taken that.
Yeah, that's the first step. You should decide that I'm going to plan my career. You know why you should decide that? Career planning is not an easy task. So it's a long journey. It's a marathon, and keep in mind that you may not be able to plan for the final destination even in one go. So you're planning your next step with an understanding that, you have to plan a lot of more steps further. And also with an understanding that you may be changing this step on the go. Yeah. But you need to plan based on the currently available data and then take a decision and move forward. So it's a very complex thing and you need an expert support for that. So the first step I would say is to decide that you have to plan for career. That's the first decision.
Wake up from sleep, smell the coffee and decide. And we come to one of the most important questions, the most searched questions, the last one. In career planning, why is flexibility important?
Oh yeah. Flexibility is a very, very, very important point in career planning, I would say, because I don't think that, like the early generation, people may not be doing one job for the next 30 years or 40 years. It's like a person who starts working as a doctor. So after 30 years, not necessary that person should continue work as a doctor. A person who start working as a teacher may be changing this career path on the go. So because today, two things. Number one, there are a lot of opportunities around. And number two, a lot of new careers are coming up. So that we will have to change a lot of things in our career on the go. So if I'm very rigid or if I'm just very sticky on something, I may not be able to do those changes in the right manner. So it is very, very important that we have to be very flexible while we are planning career, because it's the world of career is having an abundance of opportunities and a lot of new things are coming in. So it's very important that we have to be very, very flexible in our career planning process.
Don't be rigid, be firm, but yet be flexible, right?
Absolutely. Be firm is very important, but at the same time be flexible.
Firm plus flexible. That's
And the
going
most
to be
important
mantra.
point over there is like, being flexible it should not be mistaken as like, indecisive.
Correct.
It should not be mistaken as like, taking two stances. It's like you have to take a firm stand, move forward, but ready to be flexible when it is necessary.
With this board, I can be flexible till this, but if I go out, I'll go out of camera. Thank you, Praveen. That's a wonderful, elaboration on what should we do for career planning by Lifology.